Breaking news right now at 11 o'clock. A baby killed in Atlanta. Officers say the child's mother crashed into the father's car, killing her own baby.
Yo, what up? What it do, YouTube? Yep, it's your boy. It's that boy they call Lamont. Datway Jones back in the building. Yep, you heard it right. It's that boy. Lamont, Datway Jones back in the building. And with that being said, my good people, I just wanted to thank everybody who decided to stop and rock with that boy they call Lamont, Datway Jones, this way. You dig? Now with that being said, my good people, topic of discussion is when it comes to this woman who goes by the name of Titayanna Phillips out of Atlanta, Georgia, okay? Now when it comes to this woman, I'm about to give you guys a brief description on, what this woman did that made her wind up on my worst parent of the week segments, okay? And like I've always told you guys, if anybody end up on my worst parent of the week segments, that lets you know right there that this person was pretty much a lowest of the low when it comes to just being a damn straight up low life, period. You dig? Now, with that being said, my good people, I just wanted to apologize to everybody because it's been a while, and I know I've been away from the tube for a while, but the reason for that is because I have been in the process of moving, and everybody knows how much of a headache and how much time that it takes when you are in the process of relocating. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, whenever it comes to this story, okay, my good people, Atlanta police say the mother deliberately crashed into a car carrying her baby girl shortly after her husband picked the child up. The crash happened on a Monday around 7 p.m. that night along what was the name of the street? Eason Street near Chapel Road in Northwest Atlanta. Channel 2's Tom Reagan spoke with the neighbor who said when they saw the crash, people rushed over to the car to rescue the trapped father and the child. Now, with that being said, my good people, a neighbor who goes by the name of Titayanna Jones, she actually stated, saying, "We were in the house when we heard a loud boom." Then Mrs. Jones went on to say, "We saw her, Mrs. Phillips." When she was like, when they saw Mrs. Phillips, that's when they also noticed, the car was turned up sideways up against a tree, and she was ramming her car into the side of the car. Atlanta police say Titayanna Phillips, 21, intentionally hit a car carrying her 3-month-old daughter and the child's father inside. Phillips was denied bond, where she has been charged with murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. With that being said, my good people, they also say the father had just picked up the child from the mother's house. She was screaming, "I told him that I would kill him." And she said, she asked the people, "Can you all get my baby out of the car?" She was screaming, "That's my baby in the back seat," Mrs. Jones went on to say. She also told Reagan that bystanders rushed to the wrecked car to try and rescue the father and baby inside. Everyone tried to get the people out of the car because the car started smoking, Mrs. Jones said. With that being said, my good people, she also went on to say, within minutes, firefighters arrived with the jaws of life and pried open the wreckage. They pulled out the father and baby, Titayanna Henderson, who later died at the hospital. Police have not discussed a possible motive for the mother's actions. Previous police reports on Phillips revealed she suffers from mental illness and did not have legal custody of the baby. It's sad, it's heartbreaking, and was not worth it at all, Mrs. Jones said. Damn. Now, with that being said, my good people, let me mind you that this story is a little over a month or so old. I've been planning on doing a video on this story, but like I said, my good people, I've been in the process of doing a lot of things lately, and it actually slipped my mind, okay? Anyway, with that being said, my good people, I'm about to let you guys check out some of the actual news briefings when it comes to this ongoing story. And after I let you guys check out some of this footage, I will be back with my ending commentary on how I actually, should I say what I actually think and how I actually feel about this horrible situation from my own perspective. You dig? With that being said, my good people, welcome to the Lamont Datway Jones Show. You dig?
A mom charged with murder in a crash that killed her baby girl.
Police records show that there was an open defects investigation into the mom before this all happened. Today, Tracy A. McPeer talked to a witness and the director of defects about it.
I heard the boom and I came outside and I saw the car wrapped around the tree.
Robert Williams says he could hear the crash Monday night in northwest Atlanta that killed 3-month-old Titayanna Henderson and put her father, Andre Henderson, in the hospital.
I went over to the other side and I looked and they said something about a baby in the car and I looked, saw a baby seat.
Police say the child's mother, 21-year-old Titayanna Phillips, intentionally crashed into the father's car. She's now charged with aggravated assault and felony murder. We found 2 different recent police reports involving Phillips and Henderson. In June, Phillips was charged with disorderly conduct following a dispute with Henderson. And just 4 days ago, she was accused of taking Titayanna from a health clinic. According to the report, police called her and asked her to bring the baby back, and she did. We now know there was also a case open with the Department of Family and Children's Services.
In June, we received a report on the family that there were these mental health concerns regarding the mother, and that's when we intervened and made sure that the father was the one taking care of the child.
Tom Rawlings is the director of DFACS. He says the case was still ongoing.
We were continuing to follow and continuing to work with both parents, certainly so that the mother would get mental health treatments. The father did have the child with him and probably was not able to foresee that the mother would really go into such a crisis that she would drive her car into his.
A memorial now marks the site of Monday's crash, a reminder of a tragedy on many different levels.
It's sad, and it just reminds me that we have so much work to do in the state to make sure that we are bolstering our families and that we are protecting our children.
At DFACS, the normal call volume is around 140,000 calls a year, half of which are from teachers and coaches. So since the pandemic, those calls have dropped dramatically. Rawlings says he hopes this tragic situation will serve as a reminder for all of us when we see a child in need to call them.
And bond was denied today in court for Phillips. We're not sure when that next court hearing is going to be because of the current judicial emergency dealing with coronavirus.
Now, my good people, before I decide to continue on, before giving you guys my ending commentary from my own perspective, I'm just going to say this, my good people. I feel like this. If these people already knew that this woman, or this girl, or whatever, if these people already knew of her having a mental illness, then I feel like, the father And now, don't get me wrong, I know this is the child's mother, okay? But like I said, this is what kills me about these type of cases. And I did a Worst Parent of the Week vid on someone, another girl out of New York, who they said the same thing about, but I noticed that they continue to, let these kids stay in her custody. Even though they say, in this case, the father had custody of the child. Okay, I get that, but this is what I don't understand. Why was the child even with the mother to begin with? I mean, like the doctor stated, okay, maybe he didn't know. But if he didn't know, shit, he should have knew. Just by her having a history of mental illness. Like, think about what I'm saying, my good people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure nobody can predict the damn future, okay? I know he wouldn't have thought in a million years after he, got the baby from her. After he came pick the baby up, I know he never would have imagined in a million damn years that she would have did what she did. And I get that. But this is the point I'm trying to make is, the authorities and the doctors knew of her mental illness, so therefore, once I would have got my child from her, I would have took every precaution that I knew I would have had to take, knowing of this woman's history of mental illness. And I'm about to break this all the way down. What I mean by when I say I've taken every precaution, first of all, once I would have got my baby, alright? Soon as if you know this woman's already half crazy, you should have seen or sensed that something wasn't right just from her actions after you got the baby from her. See, I'm the type of person, I don't miss nothing. If I know I'm dealing with a person with a mental illness, guess what? I would have told her, look, when I get my baby back from you, I don't want no hard feelings now, okay? I would have had to straight up tell her. And even not saying that they would have stopped her from doing what she did, but I still would have gave her the benefit of the doubt, like, you know what I'm saying? But to be honest, if it was me, she wouldn't have had the baby to begin with. We wouldn't even had any type of encounter. Only way she would have been able to see that baby, she would have had to come to where I was at, where I resided. That's just how I would have handled the situation, because there's no way in hell I would have handed that baby over to her, knowing of her mental illness. There's no way I would have dropped my baby off, or even let her take it away from me. As far as that goes, think about what I'm saying, my good people. You gotta use your damn head. Evidently the father had to be the one with the better head on his shoulders for him to even wind up with the baby being in his custody in the first place. Think about that. So you would have thought, by him being the smarter parent, he would have known better than to do what he did when it came to him letting the baby spend time with her without him there anyway. In other words, like, if it was me, she could have spent time with the baby, but I wouldn't have dropped my baby off with her. There's no way. She would have had to come where I was at. That way, I wouldn't have had to worry about driving and worrying about if she gonna try to crash into me or kill me. I mean, think about it, my good people. You gotta look at all these different points and perspectives that I'm coming from on this situation. Anyway, I'm speaking for myself when I say these things, because that's how I would have handled the situation. She wouldn't have been with her in the first damn place. By me knowing of this woman's history of mental illness, okay? There's just no damn way. All right? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, these are the type of people that should not have children. I don't understand, like, why do people with mental illness decide to have children? You just gotta stop and think. I've always wondered about these type of things. Okay, maybe he didn't know, but he had to know a little. Like, if he was the more intelligent parent, when he met this woman, I'm sure he had to know that she was kind of off a little bit, and you still impregnated this woman? This is another thing that puzzles me about this whole damn entire situation. And I feel so sorry, for that baby to lose her life at such a young age. This baby lost her life before she even knew what life was. That's the saddest part about it. You did what I'm saying, my good people? That's why, this also reminds me that it's a blessing to have children, but this also reminds me that everybody is not fit to have children. Especially in this case, that should remind anybody of that. Especially in this case, everybody is not fit to have children. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, and I'm sure she's definitely feeling some type of way. Then after you done crashed into the car multiple times, knowing your baby was in there, then have the nerve to scream out to the people that you already see trying to get them out of the car. So, can y'all please get my baby out of the car? Not even knowing, because you so mentally ill, you don't even have any idea that you've already killed the baby. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad. This is just sad, man. Like, this should be a reminder to anybody. Like, I don't give a damn what you are mad at the other parent about. You shouldn't do dumb shit. Pardon my French. You shouldn't do dumb shit like that when you know that your child is involved. I don't give a damn how mad or how big of a grudge that you have with the other spouse of that child or the other parent of that child. You dig what I'm saying, my good people? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, I'm gonna leave you guys with this thought before I close this video out. Whenever it comes to having kids, you guys to be willing to be responsible. Like I said, even though some people have kids even before they're are old enough to even take care of their child properly. With that being said, listen, my good people. If you're gonna have kids, whatever you decide to, or whatever you are going through with the other parent, stop taking it out on these innocent babies, man, because they ain't got a damn thing to do with that grudge that you have against that other parent or whoever has custody of that child, okay? Now, in her case, it might be a little different. I'll give her a little leeway, but she still was dead ass wrong. She still had enough sense to know she was dead ass wrong for what she did, knowing that baby was in the car, regardless of her mental illnesses. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, my good people, I just wanted to thank everybody who decided to stop and rock with that boy they call Lamont, Datway, Jones, this way, during another segment of my worst parent of the week vids. You dig? Anyway, my good people, with that being said, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I apologize once again for being away from the tube as long as I was in the process of relocating. Anyway, my good people, with that being said, till next time, my good people, peace. Peace out.